Got it.
I don't. Thank you.
I
I
felt someone wanted it, like, I think it was the
come
many.
through.
Yeah,
Good. Beautiful.
but I don't know if this is the appropriate
Yeah.
time, but
Are
Well, they're
we
coming through.
starting?
The
Starting
many.
on-
I think the many are coming through with Sherry.
Okay, the dog wants to go out.
Of course he does.
dear ones.
Hello.
We really have not delved into this current situation that has been brought to our awareness of your discussion, we will say. So we thought our interjection of some key understandings to assist you in any endeavors or further tweakings that you may wish to undertake if you desire. The culmination of the orchestrated scenarios is approaching, but you are correct. There is new introduction of, as you refer to them as a virus. It is already circulating, but it already has been in some ways addressed. We have others we are working with, and this is for you to know. I'm sure you understand. You are not, although all are appreciated, but you are not the only ones that we work with. You are unique in many ways that you're plunging forward into the, as you are working with Gaia and as you are working with us and you're plunging forward into working in the collective is admirable. Thus, being, shall we say, duplicated, we are introducing this, so we thank you. As you consider further endeavors, just allow yourself to, we've said it before, follow the inner compass, but you are correct, Miss Crystal. And as you have been correct before, Miss Trinity, and the vehicle on focusing on changing, or as you say, transmuting the vials, and as you are considering allowing a it would not be a protection, Miss Crystal, it would be tapping into the already existing we will say infectants. This is not correct, but the ones harboring the virus. You do not necessarily need to know who they are. No, not at all. You would focus on just connecting with the ones that have been carrying it and transmute what is within them. It is not necessary to fully we will word it this way. It is, as you have seen diagrams of various elements with different structures, if you were to remove one aspect of one strand or one component, as you would understand it, this would change the entire structure. So you do not need to connect and inoculate or cause a complete destruction of the entire a virus, it would be only on certain components, and you can hone in on that. It does not require that you know which components to focus on. You are gifted enough to complete this successfully. We wanted to legitimize what you are honing in on quite divinely, Miss Kristen, and allow some elaboration to assist you and let you know that it is not in vain. It is not a journey of the mind, it is actual. And we would provide you with a timeline in your understanding that would be, it would be optimal within 30 days at the most, as you see it. It is hastening, but as we said, there are others to elaborate slightly, others in your, I would say equality, but also others, of course, of our intervention within the free will. Therefore, the vehicles are important, and you are all vehicles. And we appreciate you. Any elaboration sought at this time?
Miss Crystal?
No, that was very insightful. And I think I understand what definitely needs to be done. I think instead of, and correct me if I'm overthinking, but by breaking down the genetics of the virus would be more beneficial than looking at it as a whole.
The components within it.
Mhm,
There's
mhm.
you can neutralize components, right?
Yes.
Mhm. That's
Allowing
what I was
yourself to connect to the ones who are harboring it without knowing exactly where or who. You could, for your understanding and your focus of intention, you can do what you commonly do as directed by Alexandria in this regard would be optimal, meaning that you would take either geographical areas and allow yourself to connect and allow yourself to energetically intend on the ones who are harboring it. This is being pronounced by your information sources as being in certain regions, but this is not true. Do not rely on this. For you to successfully diminish or demolish would be to focus on each region, whether you do this in vertical layers, horizontal layers, quadrants, it is your choice, or by country. But do not rely on information stating it has only been found here or there. It is more vast. We are seeing an increase, and it is not pronounced exactly where it lies. So you will sense whether or not there are many or a few, but even 1 or 100 or 1,000, it would not be on an individual basis. It would be mass intention connecting with the virus that lies within. Focus your intention and your connection point to that particular, as you refer to it, variant, and that will automatically connect you with the hosts. So in other words, you intend your focal point to connect with the variant, and then you can utilize your abilities to transmute and change, and it does not need to be a complete destruction. It is not going to cause another variant by not fully destroying it. This is one of your thoughts. In this regard, you can take out one. For your understanding, you could consider molecule and replace that molecule with something interesting, shall we say. We will let you create your own that would benefit those in your sphere. Therefore, you will not have concerns, or nor will there be another virulent variant that would be a consequence. There will be no consequence in that regard. Your intent is pure. But you could, understanding free will, so make it very beneficial to the collective. Excuse me. So, does this help you? The vehicle has a strong picture, so she can elaborate if you, but we will be happy to do so as well.
Thank you so much.
Yes, please. I will. I do have one question. I got a thought that said utilize the sun.
You may wonder why we don't say this, because part of the process is for you to hear it. So, the sun is supportive in many ways, but the sun for this purpose will be, we will say, is not anchoring. Strengthening may be more the word. The connection, the sun is connected to every region in your sphere, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You may want to follow the illumination of the sun. Thus, there may be some different hours for you to consider. When you are working with a specific region, utilize the time when the sun is shining there. Allowing that connection point to seed in and support you. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, the many. So
Yes.
beautiful. Sherry's just pulling in all the channels today.
Okay.
She's been channeling for the last few days, almost every day now, huh, Sherry? Sunday, I think.
So what I think you guys understood that. Did you understand? I saw that we connect to the virus in whole in that country, and then that will filter down to the ones who are harboring it, I guess they said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that would be our connection point to the ones that we can. It's hard to understand how, if we're able to, we're part of the collective, but if we're going to an individual, is that, we should have asked that, is that a violation or anything? I don't know. It's part of, but it's for the greater good of the collective. I'm sure they would appreciate it, but do you see what I'm saying? I didn't ask that. It just occurred to me.
I think what they're giving permission to is not going to be changed, but what they don't know they're giving permission to can be changed, and that isn't against their will.
Ooh, that's deep. I'll have to think that one later.
Okay. It's recorded because I might not.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, perfect. I'll just kind of keep that on back burner. We can ask later, but what you said, I'll think of it later. Thank you. Okay, let's get started with Gaia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Circling up. Unconditional love. Relaxing, putting everything in the back seat, so to speak, all the to-dos, things, the busyness of mind. Receiving creator unconditional love, so beautiful, relaxing, receiving it in every cell, and feeling the connection of our energy bodies. As we relax and receive that beautiful unconditional love in our circle, we witness the golden sphere in the center begin to grow until it gently lands on our laps. We feel the beautiful energy, Gaia's residual energy, all this unconditional love in our chakra energy centers. Our energy bodies become one. As the bottom of the sphere opens up, we welcome in Gaia. We send her love, thanking her for all the support and love and abundance and bounty. And we witness her also receiving that. We are light and weightless, floating on unconditional love and connection to Gaia, floating, up, and we enter the council chamber. Connecting to Alexandria. I am here. The vehicle was not sensing me, and she thought maybe I had taking a holiday, as you would say. This is my holiday. So, welcome. We are excited to join together today. As we always do, we shall begin with the anthem, if you will so indulge us, Kristen.
Yes. Gaia, oh beautiful Gaia, we sing to you. Do not fear, we are here. We are sincere, you can see, to be here to guide thee. From the corners, north, east, south, west, we will assist and do our best. We send you love, we send you light. We are grateful for you, this is true. Allow us to come together just for you.
Thank you. Well, we have a few things on the agenda, but I see we have 4. If they're, again, with ultimate discretion and full revelation, allowing all questions to be answered and all directives to be understood, this would be an opportunity to cease the Gaia's receiving of the errant seeds. However, the consequences we have disclosed. We would like to, first of all, Miss Lisa, being that you were at the latter gatherings regarding this subject matter, we would entertain any question that you may have.
Not at this time, no.
No. Very well. So we will seek a consensus, but individually. And at that time, also addressing any questions that may arise. And also during, if consensus is reached, during the process, if any questions arise, please know that you can speak up at any time, or any apprehensions or observations that you wish to disclose.
Okay.
Miss Trinity, do you have any questions to begin with?
I do not. They have been answered.
Miss Trinity, do you consent on behalf of one quadrant of the collective?
Yes, I do.
Miss Crystal, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Do you consent on behalf of the second quadrant of the collective?
Yes.
I am speaking with the vehicle. She is asking if anybody will not survive the food shortage. We have to say yes. But other cumulative effects of the consumption of these productions will affect many more. The areas affected most we do not have a number. We don't know. We cannot say, but we can say that the calculations of probability would be in the lower thousands. It is not vast. It is not in the realm of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. It could be in the hundreds, and it could be, because there are many factors which would determine how quickly the errant seeds are tossed, for lack of a better term, and replaced with the full bearing seeds that will be received by the soil in abundance. That is not to say that there will never be endeavors, tweaking to continue on the path. But that can be addressed as needed. The vehicle says that she has no further questions, and she consents on behalf of the third quadrant. Ms. Lisa, we would entertain any and allow, if there is any need, especially after the prior disclosure from the vehicle's question, any questions?
Not at this time.
On behalf of the collective and the fourth quadrant, do you give permission?
Yes, I do.
Very well. So the process and connection and the support system will be as follows for this. First, I must state a declaration, if you will indulge.
course.
And this is a declaration for several pinpoints, but it is being pronounced and also received and recorded. In the advancement of and the considerations made in 4 recorded permissions given by those in attendance and contained in this council who are dwellers and occupants upon Gaia, as it would be understood in the 3rd density. It has been agreed, one representing each quadrant, that an alteration of the soils, you will say, the receiving of seeds of certain kinds that have been significantly modified in one specific variation. This is not all variants, which I have not addressed. It shall be known that this variant, once as agreed upon, the soil's content to be altered, not allowing this one modified seed, is agreed upon by all 4 occupants in attendance with full understanding, knowledge, and consent that the possible ramifications are food shortages affecting the collective, but with the understanding that the variant seed will not be received, but indigenous seeds will flourish. It is now consented and sealed and understood. This does not preclude further agreements or addendums, so to speak. And as agreed within the council, this will be monitored and modified for the greater good of the collective residing on Gaia's sphere. This shall be known is introduced and completed and pursued for the greater good of Gaia and current and future inhabitants. Any objections before sealing? Not only in this council.
I do not.
We are checking. There are other councils that are aware of this. No objections, so sealed with the as you understand, Galactic Council seal. It is agreed upon, all seals being placed, and I am instructed to send the regards and appreciation to each one of you individually. There are showing their appreciation, and they want to assure you that this has been reviewed and this has been other actions have been reviewed, so to speak, and this is the less consequential. With your participation, the consequences are minimal compared to other options being considered and introduced that could be without violation. Very well. So, as in other processes, we are not alone in your quadrants, but I will be participating deeply. I will be at Gaia's core. If you were to allow yourselves to partner up for ease of Trinity, Portruda, and Fortuitous, Crystal, Jonadratu, and Abercornicus, and Lisa, Martinelle, and Rondon, and the vehicle will have Condometrius, and of course will be working with me. This is in quadrants, so I will be in the core, but for ease of understanding, we are discussing Miss Trinity.
Yes.
When you view Gaia as a sphere, please take the entire top quadrant. The vehicle will be with me, and Condometrius will join, and the core.
Okay.
Miss Crystal and Miss Lisa, you will be dividing the lower half, so to speak, each taking one side. For your understanding, you would be more South America side. Miss Crystal and Lisa will be more on the African, Australian. There we go. As you reach your juncture points with your counterparts, please take your places. Placing your feet on any soil that you wish to connect to. But first of all, your feet. And then allowing your feet to fully connect. Your counterparts are surrounding you. You each have two. You will see this as you were as a child. You would have two people holding hands and one in the middle, and you'd swing the hands back and forth, tossing about the one in the middle. You are the one in the middle. Your counterpoints are joining their appendages, their, as you would call, hands, and surrounding you with their support. In this configuration, at the core, I have what you would consider a unique device. It is small, but effective. This device will connect to your feet, let's say. I am beginning to activate it now. Do not feel this is not anything that will cause discomfort. But as it does, it is allowing your feet to be a conduit as the device is connecting with your resonance. And we shall say communicating with the molecules of the soil. This is the easiest way for me to describe it. Feel it now. It is reaching you. It is allowing. Now your counterparts are taking their hands as you would see them, and they are lowering themselves, still surrounding you, and placing their hands upon your feet. This is exponentially strengthening and sending out this transmutation even further. Allow your love for the collective to gather in your feet. And now I am instructing the vehicle as well. We are working from the core now. Continue to focus your love for the collective and also being connective to the soils. My device is still activating and connecting to your feet, and your counterparts are still having their hands around your feet. Very well. This is no way to be intrusive. One moment as I work with the vehicle for a moment, focusing love for the collective, harnessing this in your feet and sending it out in extreme empowerment. Yes. Focus and letting it flow out of your feet, the most powerful wave that you have ever experienced, strengthened by your counterparts. Now the vehicle, we are inside. I will take this device and we will hold it together. Working on the soils from the core inward out. Now, this will be slightly different. You will see your counterparts releasing your feet and supporting you as you go into crouching position, to sitting, to laying down. I apologize, but this is the way it must be done. You are now laying there, and I will reactivate the device to connect with your entire being. If there are any objections or any discomforts, please speak. Very well. In supine position or laying down, allow yourself to begin to relax and feel the connection with the soil. Feel every molecule of the soil. Feel its yearning to be healthy, to be receiving and yielding what is meant to be yielded. Your counterparts will now, one at the head and one at the feet, begin to harness and strengthen your connection. I will activate my device again. Transmitting, activating. Should be reaching you shortly. Very well. Receiving it and in love, letting it flow through you as it is connecting to all the soils. Every sand, grain of sand, every crystal that lies within the soils, every molecule, if you wish to see that, particle. Yes, yes, yes. You may feel some pressure a little bit on your head and feet. Feeling the love for collective throughout your entire being, and then sourcing it through your back, as you would say. Letting it flow through you, empowered, fully connecting and receiving. Still transmitting. Now I will have the vehicle do the same. Still transmitting to you. Do not lose your connection. Keep that focal point into love for the collective flowing through your back. Your counterparts are still one at your head, one at your feet. Please continue this until I finish with the vehicle. Witness the vehicle's connection at the core in the color purple, and receive it. I have my hands upon her head and the transmitter at her feet. Receive this as well. It's going through every layer and then accentuated through you. Yes, 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 very well. Relax, 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 relax. We are not going to test the soils immediately. We're going to let an acclimation period settle in. And of course, we will soon be hearing the murmurings. But we would like to, and we will do some independent testing, but it is not certain as we have not shall we say fully duplicated their errant seeds. So to test it, we are utilizing much technology, but there may be tweaks. But we will update you. Begin to arise up. Refresh yourself, allowing your counterparts to receive sunlight and moonlight. They are harnessing that right now and refreshing you. The vehicle and I are we're going to take a trip. We're just going to grab some sun and moon, and I will refresh her as well. If you wish to take a trip with your counterparts or remain, just return when you are fully refreshed. I will be there with the vehicle in a moment. Quite pleasurable, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Any observations if you're all back, if you are still? Hard to come back sometimes, isn't it?
It is. That one was. So when I envisioned having my feet in the soil, when I tried to do it just in a small space, like in real life, I would just put my feet in the ground. I couldn't do it. So the vision ended up being where I took the entire top quadrants, or both quadrants up there, and that's what I stood in, and I sunk in to where it was like the middle of that, and that was where I was radiating all of the from my feet, into the soil. And even when I laid down, it was like in the middle of all of that whole entire section. It was so strong and intense. Holy cow. Like
I feel it still circulating, dear.
when we were holding hands at first before they Protruda and Fortuitous went to go down to my feet, they were like holding hands, and in my real body here, I felt like a whole bunch of cobwebs were around. Like I started feeling energy, but in a physical way, like a bit slightest, like it was more like cobweb feeling, but like on my skin. And it was just like I just knew exactly what it was, so I didn't even look. But it was so cool. I'm just like, ooh, we're merging realms, baby! Yeah. So that was really awesome. And I was able to stay fully focused and fully present and fully aware the entire time. There is a couple times where I got a couple visions. I can't remember some of them, and like I saw a clip with humans in them, and it was very different. But I might have to like revisit or think about it or let it sink in, and then it'll come up again. But then when I was receiving the sunlight and moonlight, I felt just this beautiful sun essence, which is like melting gold, and then this moon essence, which is like that pearly evanescent color or whatever, but just like in liquid form. It was just pouring down and through, and I saw it so vividly. I was just like, oh, this is so good. And then I just kind of got recharged again. It was pretty cool. I liked that a lot. So thank you.
Thank you for participating and for sharing. Beautiful observations. You have one large half, and I am delighted to tell you that I can see the circulation of the energy that you radiated, and it is incredible.
Thank you.
I apologize. I rarely go to the core, so I am slightly off kilter, you would say.
The density is different, huh?
Indeed. Yes. So, as you know, I have not. I am usually guiding and overseeing. So, any other musings?
I thought
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to include, I saw and felt Sherry's purple light so vividly as well. I just wanted to add that to kind of let Sherry know. It was incredible and obvious too. Sorry, Crystal, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Yeah. So I had a vision, and when I put my energy into it, like each individual like little molecule of sand, dirt, I envisioned it all around me, like I moved it all. And I was like, I wanted to make sure each one was specifically cleansed and altered accordingly.
Your counterparts are, as you would see, affirming, as you would say, affirming in full agreement.
That's awesome.
And then I had a vision of, if you think of like a paper airplane, the top was like completely flat and it had wings, but then it had two like circular things on the sides.
So
I'm not
are
quite
you saying
sure
it
if they're
resembles, would it
observing.
resemble a crop duster as you refer to them? The vehicle is showing me one of those. That is what she thought of when you said it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe they're no longer needed now that it's a paper plane.
Or alternative, they may try to reacclimate the soil via external sources.
That's true.
We knew this is a possibility, but that would it take time to develop, and also to have the, as you refer to them, farmers, the cultivators, acquiesce to that. The frustration level of the farmers, because a season without yielding is a significant event. We are formulating any way that we can introduce, as soon as yielding is not coming to fruition, to introduce some alternative, so they will not seek alternatives from the ones who provided the seeds. But this is it is usually within a tolerance for a cultivator to have a failed crop but be able to sustain oneself. Sometimes, as you know, there are what you refer to as subsidies to help in that. It is not all crops that are affected, as you know, so they can, as seasons differ, they can choose another crop as well if they are able to utilize their tools and equipment for the same type of harvesting, if it is a similar crop in another variant, not the errant seed. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to detail. I apologize. So this is one potential that maybe you are witnessing. Do you have any other thoughts as why you would see that?
No.
Any other members of the council have any input as to, maybe fortuitous as well? I don't mean to, we will come back and maybe I don't go to the core often. Any other one in the council have any observations or thoughts regarding the paper airplane? There are a few in agreement with my surmising, but any other thoughts? No, very well. Any input from Fortuitous and Portruda regarding Trinity's experience or vision? Protruda says that you are so highly effective. She did not need to strengthen much.
Thank you. Thank you.
She did not want to tap into your vision. She felt it was invasive.
You can.
Fortuitous did not seem to have those. He was not paying attention to that. He said he was focused on his. Go ahead. Yes. Yes.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. He has nothing to add because he was focused on his task, so to speak. So, Miss Lisa?
Yes.
Hmm.
I could feel like the pressure on my head. I could feel pressure on my feet. And then when I tried to send everything out like a big atomic wave so that it would just hit everything as it went out. And then the only vision that I had, it was kind of strange. It was some red beings, and they were 4 red beings. They were kneeling on the ground and they were bending over, but I could only see them from the back. I couldn't see their faces. I could only see that they were bending over, and that's all I got from that. I'm not really sure if they were honoring, if they were helping us to clear, or but they were really gigantic beings, and they just kept bending over. That's what I think they were helping us to clear. That's what I got.
You are indeed correct. These beings are known as trying to have the vehicle pronounce it revocations. They are deeply connected with Gaia and have assisted her in the past. These beings are rare. They are not plentiful. So this is a, shall I say, quite divine and revealing of your attunement and your connection points. They are rarely discussed because they do not reveal themselves often. They are not active in any councils. They are more, if you were like to liken it to, I am using the term secret, a secret friend. They are Gaia's secret friends, so to speak.
That's amazing.
And she said that she is honored to have you have them revealed to you.
Thank you.
To all of
I
you.
was too.
I was slightly concerned because very few know, but she acquiesced quickly. If they revealed themselves, obviously it is all well. So they assisted. How divine. That is
That's awesome.
a incredible revelation.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
The all-seeing eye.
Thank you, beings, for revealing.
Yes.
That was cool.
Well, there is much to celebrate. Celebrate indeed. Let us all celebrate with the galactic. I shall announce it has been done. The ones who are in our council, the ones who acquiesced, yes. From all vantage points, it is successful. You are witnessed. Celebrate. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, I know. Yes. Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely. They were telling me that I did a splendid job. Yes. Well, any other before we adjourn? Miss Trinity, I know you have 4 more members, but I will be delighted to share that with you any time within the next time span prior to our meeting.
That's perfectly divine. I love it. So honored that we were able to do this today. Thank you, everyone. All of the councils.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we all, in unison, thank you. We are honored, and we will be celebrating as well. You may feel us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Going down in the sphere. Watching the bottom of the sphere open. Loving Gaia as she exits. Seeing the bottom close. The sphere releases itself from our laps. Shrinking, 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 shrinking. And we separate out our energy bodies, bringing back all our energy centers, bringing back our energy bodies, separating out, washing off in divine light, and coming back. Where'd I go?
Awesome. You went deep. Holy cow. Maybe channel every single day from now on.
Yes, so it does make a difference.
Oh, holy cow.
But I've been running the program coherent when I channel.
Oh, okay.
Because I noticed I happened to be doing it randomly when I didn't know I was going to channel one morning when you asked.
Yeah.
And I was running it and I noticed that I went really, really deep. So I ran it again. So
interesting. I love it. You just want more props and tools and we're not gonna be able to.
It could be that it was just by coincidence. I don't really want more props and tools, but I want more props. Give me some props. Props. What's it says? Like, give. Oh, never mind. So yeah, that was